Other type of sort that you need to be able to do is
Quick
is a general,
Quick
quick is a generous description of this algorithm. But again, there's a description here, but I'll just show you it. Again, make sure you read the question carefully, see whether it wants them in ascending or descending order. So the quick sort works. Quick sort works by splitting your lists up into two sections. Okay, so what you do is you start off by choosing a pivot. Okay, it will work choosing any number as a pivot, but the mark schemes are very picky on these ones. So your pivot, if there is a middle number to your list, your pivot has to be the middle number. If there isn't, you can choose either the left or the right one, like this one. So there's an even number of numbers in the list. So there's no middle. So you can either choose the left, so you can choose 12, or you can choose the right, you can choose 11. But whatever your choice is, you must be consistent throughout this algorithm. So if you choose the left, which I'm going to do, you've always got to choose the left later on if you get a choice. Okay, so I choose what's called a pivot, which is basically a number that stays where it is. Well, not really stays where it is. Yeah.
Well, like a different question.
Yeah, so again, we're going to do different passes. So as we go down, we're going to choose more pivots. And if you come to a choice, you've always got to stick with what you chose first. What we do then, so 12 is my pivot. So I'm going to go along my list. Every number that is less than 12, I'm going to write to the left of 12. And every number that is bigger than 12, I'm going to write to the right of 12. There aren't any bigger than 12. But I've got to keep all of the rest of the numbers in the same order. Okay, so you're not again using what you know about putting numbers in order. Working through this list. So 9 is less than 12, so stays on the left. 6 is less than 12, so stays on the left. 2 is less than 12, so stays on the left. 11 is less than 12, so it's going to go on the left of 12. 9 is less than 12, 3 is less than 12, 7 is less than 12, and then 12 does, yeah, and 12 is in the correct position. Yeah.
So how can we choose 12 first?
So I have to choose one of the middle ones. So this time either I choose 12 or 11. I just chose the left one. You could choose it 11 each way, it would be fine, but it has to be one of the middle ones. That's the mark schemes want you to choose the middle. Because you could theoretically choose any and it would work. Now 12 is fixed, so when I've chosen it as a pivot, I put a circle around it. When it's fixed, I put a box around it. So 12 is now fixed and we could ignore 12's existence. We don't have to do anything with it. So now we look at the remaining 7 numbers. This has a middle, so 11 is now the middle number. So now I choose this to be the pivot. So anything that's less than 11 will go on the left of 11, which again is all of them. So 9, 6, 2, 9, 3, 7, all less than 11. And then 11 goes here and is fixed. And I'm going to draw a line down from 12 rather than writing it out every time.
That's
I feel like the line to the right is just 12.
yeah. Well,
I don't
12
look
consists of a line, so.
Even then you have to join the lines and so
Now we've got a list of 6 numbers, so I'm going to choose one of these to be the pivot. It has to be 2 because I chose 12 earlier on. I chose the middle of the left of the middle 2, so I have to choose the left of the middle 2 here. So anything that's less than 2.
Well, that's not the middle.
So out of this list of 6 numbers here, there's 2 and 9, but because I chose the left middle earlier, I have to choose 2. So anything that's less than 2 goes on the left of 2. None of these are less than 2. So then I put 2 in, and then everything that's bigger than 2 is the right of 2. Then we've got that list of 5 numbers in the middle, so I need to choose the pivot, which is going to be 9. So anything less than 9 goes to the left of 9, anything bigger than 9 goes to the right. the one that's equal, you can choose either, it doesn't matter. So 6 is less than 9, goes on the left. 9, I'm going to put on the right, just for demonstration purposes. The 3 is less than 9. 7 is less than 9. Then I'm going to put my 9 in. That shows the pivot. And I'm going to count the 9 that was equal to it as bigger, just so I can show you. All of these are now in the right place. Now we've got 2 lists. So all of the ones so far, we've just had a single list. Now we've got 2 lists and we can do these ones at the same time. So now I can choose 2 pivots. I can choose a pivot from this list of 3. Yeah. And I can choose 9, that 9 to be a pivot from my list of 1. Okay, so you get multiple lists, you do them at the same time. You don't need to do this list here, this 3. Anything less than 3 goes on the left. Well, there isn't anything less than 3. And then 6 and 7 go on the right in that order because that's the order that they're in. 9 is fixed. That's just 9, so we know that's in the right place. We know 6 and 7 are in the right order, but we have to do the algorithm, so I have to choose a pivot. It has to be 6 that I choose the pivot because it's the left of the 2 that I chose earlier. Anything less than 6 goes on the left, anything bigger than 6 goes on the right. So, I mean, they just stay in the same order. And you keep going until you've chosen everything as a pivot. Now I have to choose 7 as a pivot. And then we're done. So I can write out the final list at the end. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 9, 11, 12. This example 2, we're going to use the quick sort to sort these numbers into descending order. Make sure you read the question carefully as to what order you're putting your numbers into. So we're going biggest to smallest this time. First step is to choose our first pivot. So we're going to choose one of our middle pair of numbers, so either 44 or 41. I'm going to choose the middle left, and so throughout this I need to keep on choosing the middle left for consistency. I'm going to work my way along these numbers, and then all of the ones that are bigger than 44 I will put first. Then I'm going to put 44, and then the remaining numbers that are less than 44 I'm going to put after that 44. So working along these, 37 is smaller than 44, so I'm not putting that yet. So is 20. 17 is smaller, 26 is smaller, 41 is smaller. 27 and 28 are. 50 is the first number that is bigger than 44, so I start off by putting 50 on the left here. And 17 is smaller than 44. So I've got all the numbers that are bigger than 44. Now I put 44 in, and 44 is fixed, so I'm going to put a box around that. I then work my way back along the list, and then all of these numbers are smaller than 44 go on the right of 44 in the order that they are in the original list. So I've got 37, 20, 17, 26, 41, 27, 28, and 70. I've now got 2 sublists. One of them's just got 50 in, so I choose 50 as a pivot of that one. This other list has got 8 numbers in, so again I need to choose one of the middle 2 to be my pivot. It must be the middle left because I chose the middle left earlier on, so I'm choosing 26 as my pivot. 50 is on its own, so now that I've chosen 50 as a pivot, that is fixed, it's in the right place. I'm then going to work my way along the second list, and anything bigger than 26 I'm going to write first. Then I'm going to put 26, and then anything less than 26 I'm going to put after 26. So 37 is bigger than 26, so I'll put that in first. 20 is not, 17 is not, but 41 is, so I put 41. 27 is bigger than 26, so is 28, but 17 isn't. So these are all the numbers that are bigger than 26. I then put 26 in, and now this is in the correct position. I work my way back along the list, and then anything smaller than 26 goes on the right. So 20 is smaller, 17 is smaller, 41, 27, 28 aren't, and then that final 17 goes in. Again, I've got 2 sublists. So this list of 4, I need to choose the middle left to be my pivot. On the right here, I've got a list of 3, so I choose 17 to be the pivot. On the list of 4, work my way along. Anything bigger than 41, I'll put first. Well, 37, 27, 28 are all less than 41. So 41 goes in here and is now fixed in the right position. Then everything else less than 41 stays in the same order but goes on the right. So 37, 27 and 28 go. On this list, anything bigger than 17 goes on the right. So 20 on the left, sorry, 20 is bigger than 17. When you've got a number that's the same, you can choose whether it goes on the left or the right, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to choose that this one is the fixed 17, the pivot one, and the other one is here, just because it'll do it a little bit quicker, I think. I've now got 3 sublists. So I've got a list of 3, which has 27 as the middle, so that's the pivot. And these 2 lists here are just 1. So that, both of those get chosen as pivots. So I've got 3 pivots at the same time. In this list of 3, work your way along. So 37 is bigger than 27, 28 is bigger than 27, so they go in first. And then 27 goes in here and is now in the correct position. For these other 2, it's just 20 and 17, so these are in the correct position now. I've just got a list of 2 to finish up, so I choose the middle of the, the left of the 2 to be my pivot for consistency, so I choose 37. Anything bigger than 37 goes on the left. Well, 28 isn't bigger than 37, so they stay where they are. So 37 is fixed now. I finally have to choose 28 as a pivot to finish my list, finish my algorithm, sorry, and 28 is now in the correct position. You can write out your list at the end and check you've got everything in the right order. So I've got 50 first, then 44, then 41, 37, 28, 27, 26, 20, and 2 17s. So this is in descending order. In example 3, we're going in alphanumeric order. So that means you do all the A's first, and then within the A's, you got A1, A2, A3, and so on. So in this list, there are 8 numbers. So again, we have to choose one of the middle 2, and I'm going to choose the middle left, so I'm going to choose A1. Anything that comes before A1 in alphanumeric order will go on the left. While working your way along this list, A1 would be first anyway, wouldn't it? So A1 goes first, and then everything else will come after it in alphanumeric order. A1 is in the correct place. Now we've got a list of 7. I'm going to choose B4 as the middle one as our pivot. Anything that comes before B4 will go first. So A5 comes before B4 in alphanumeric order. D3 and D2 don't, so I don't write those in. Neither do any of these C's, so that means B4 goes in now, and that's fixed. And then anything that comes after B4 goes next. So D3 is after, D2 is after, C7, C2, and C3 are all after B4. I've got 2 sublists, so I choose A5 to be a pivot, and I choose C7 to be my pivot of this list of 5. A5 is just a list of 1, so that's in the correct place. On this list, I'm going to put anything that comes before C7 on the left. So D3 and D2 would be after C7, so I don't write those in yet. But C2 and C3 will come before. Then C7 is in the correct place, and then I've got D3 and D2. I've got 2 sublists of 2, so choose the left of each of those to be your pivots, so C2 and D3. For the C2, C3, C3 should come after C2, so C2 is fixed now, and C3 is here. For this list, D2 should come before D3, so I'll put D2 first, then D3 is fixed. Finally, choose these 2 as pivots, and then they are locked in the correct place. And you've got your final list, which we can write out as A5, so A1, A5, B4, C2, C3, C7, D2, and